Far beyond the edge of modern America, past the last gas station, the last mailbox, and the final road sign, there lies a place almost no one visits anymore. A place where GPS loses all sense of direction, where the highway slowly narrows into cracked dirt, and where silence stretches for miles in every direction. The air feels older here, heavier, as if it carries the weight of forgotten stories. This is America's most isolated ghost town, a settlement frozen in time, untouched by life, untouched by progress, and untouched by the world for over 100 years. As you approach the town, the first thing you notice is the wind. It whistles through broken windows, rattles loose metal sheets, and bends tall grass that grows where roads once existed. Sunlight falls across abandoned wooden houses, leaning dangerously to one side. Their roofs sag, their walls groan, their shadows stretch long across the empty ground. Every structure seems moments away from collapsing, yet they still cling to life like stubborn survivors. The desert may have tried to bury them, but these ruins refuse to disappear. It's almost impossible to imagine now. But this lonely place was once alive with noise, movement, and ambition. In the late 1800s, a group of prospectors discovered a massive silver deposit in the mountains nearby. The discovery spread across the frontier like wildfire. Within weeks, miners flooded into the valley with shovels, pickaxes, mules, and dreams of fortune. The West was a land of risk, but it was also a land of opportunity. And for a moment, this place felt like the next big American miracle. What started as a makeshift mining camp rapidly transformed into a booming town. The first saloon popped up, built from rough-cut timber and decorated with lanterns that glowed deep into the night. A general store stocked everything from canned peaches to lantern oil, from boots to bullets. A blacksmith hammered away from sunrise to sunset, sparks flying into the sand. Within a year, churches, schools, and boarding houses filled the valley. Children practiced reading inside a one-room schoolhouse. Families attended community dinners. A newspaper even began printing weekly issues, reporting everything from mine production to wedding announcements. At its peak, more than 1,000 people lived here. They built homes, shared meals, laughed together, fought together, prayed together, and believed their future was guaranteed. Life was hard, but full of hope. And as long as silver poured from the mountain, the town kept growing. But the American West has a history of turning dreams into dust, and deep beneath this place, trouble was already beginning. The mines grew deeper and more unstable. The ground trembled. Several tunnels collapsed without warning, swallowing entire teams of workers. The town mourned its dead, but mining didn't stop. It couldn't. The entire economy depended on it. Families begged their husbands and sons not to return to the tunnels, but desperation overruled fear. Then came the drought, a brutal, relentless season that lasted nearly 2 years. Water became rarer than silver. Wells turned dry, horses collapsed, gardens withered. The air grew so dry that lips cracked and bled. People rationed every last drop, praying for rain that never came. But the final blow was the cruelest. Around 1912, the mountain's silver vein, the lifeblood of the town, simply vanished. Miners dug deeper, chipped harder, pushed farther, but the silver was gone. Within months, shops closed, the newspaper shut down. Teachers stopped coming to the school, the saloon ran out of whiskey. And slowly, painfully, people began leaving. Some families departed quietly at dawn, loading wagons in silence. Others left suddenly, abandoning belongings, leaving plates on tables, beds still made, doors left open as if they meant to return. They never did. By 1920, the population had dwindled to only a few dozen, and by the early 1930s, the last residents gave up their struggle and walked away, leaving the town to the wind, the dust, and the desert sun. What remains today is a breathtaking, haunting monument to everything they left behind. Inside the old hotel, you can still find room keys hanging on hooks behind the counter. Each brass tag is stamped with a number that hasn't been spoken in decades. Upstairs, beds remain made. A suitcase sits on a mattress, filled with clothes folded so carefully it's clear the owner planned to return. A pair of worn leather boots rests under the bed, untouched for more than a century. In the saloon, the long wooden bar is coated in thick dust. Empty bottles line the shelves. The piano stands in the corner, its keys yellowed and warped. Some explorers claim they've heard faint music drifting through the room, soft notes carried on a breeze, even though the piano hasn't been played since Teddy Roosevelt was president. The schoolhouse is perhaps the most heartbreaking sight. A chalkboard still displays a half-erased sentence written by a child's hand. Desks sit in perfect rows, small chairs tucked neatly beneath them. A single book lies open on the floor, its pages stiff and brittle. It feels as though class ended yesterday, and the students simply never returned. The sheriff's office is frozen in place as well. The iron cell bars are rusted, the cot still intact. The logbook records the town's final crimes: drunken brawls, thefts, and missing persons reports. Several names appear in the final pages. People who walked into the mountains and never came back. Whether they fell, got lost, or met a darker fate, no one knows. Walk beyond the last house, and you'll find a small cemetery. Wooden crosses stand crooked, weather-beaten and fragile. Many of the graves belong to children, victims of disease, dehydration, or mining accidents. One grave in particular is said to belong to a young woman named Clara, who arrived with her husband in 1898. After he died in a tunnel collapse, she passed away days later, heartbroken and alone. Travelers say that at sunset, her silhouette can sometimes be seen walking near the cemetery, searching endlessly for the man she loved. Strange stories like these are common here. Travelers have reported hearing footsteps crunching behind them, only to turn and find no one there. Some have seen lantern lights flickering between buildings, even though the town has no electricity. A few claim they heard the sound of children laughing inside the schoolhouse, laughter carried by the wind from a time long gone. Whether these tales are ghosts, echoes, or simply imagination is impossible to say, but there's no denying that the town holds an unexplainable presence, an energy that feels alive despite the silence. Yet beyond all the mystery and decay, there is beauty here. Wildflowers bloom between railway ties, butterflies drift through broken windows, coyotes wander the empty streets at dawn. At night, the sky glows with millions of stars, untouched by the lights of civilization. It's the same sky the townspeople once looked up at as they prayed for rain, dreamed of wealth, and built their fragile futures. Historians have debated whether this town should be preserved, restored, or left alone. Many agree that its isolation is its greatest protection. Roads are dangerous, temperatures deadly, and the terrain unforgiving. Perhaps because of that, the town has survived longer than anyone expected. Nature guards it fiercely, wrapping it in silence. And maybe that is exactly how it should remain, because this ghost town is more than abandoned wood and rust. It is a story frozen in time, a reminder of how quickly hope can rise and how easily it can collapse, a testament to human resilience and to human fragility, a chapter of America's past that still whispers through the wind. This is America's most isolated ghost town, forgotten yet unforgettable. Silent, yet still speaking. Gone from maps, but not from memory. A place where the past never left, and the future never arrived.